Okay, I said in previous video that I will talk about the detail page of each article. For example, I have article 1, article 2nd, 3rd, 4th. When I click on the title of any article, I should be redirected to a page which the detail of this particular article should be shown. For that, I want to have another view, def like detail. It will be like request. Okay, it will be request, and well, I want to have the context here as well, because I want to take something like the article. This time it will be an article. Like here we had each article here, and we had a for loop on the articles, and in the detail view we talk only about one article, not all the articles. So now just take the article and article dot objects dot get what. So you have seen that we have here the Slack, and we will consider each article according to it is Slack, not the title or something else. According to the Slack, like 3rd, 4th, 1st, 2nd, all of them. So we just consider them according to Slack. That's why we just filter, or we get each article by its Slack. That's why we pass it here like the Slack, and we get it here like the Slack will be equal to Slack. How? Now this Slack means Slack is passed, and this Slack means this, because whenever it checks, it sees any article, whatever Slack is passed, it will take this Slack here. Okay, just check the Slack and filter out or get that specific article and have the detail of that article. Okay, it's very easy. Now return the render and render it, and the render we have the request as a parameter, and other will be like block. Well, I want to have another template like detail.html. I want to have this, and the block, I create one file detail.html. In detail.html our work is easy now. How? Because we do not need to have a for loop here, because it has the list of articles. We want to have the detail of one article. We want to talk about one specific article, not all the articles. That's why we just take this article tag and we pass it here. And the thumbnail is here. Now the Slack is not needed, means this href is not needed. Okay, only this part. Okay, only this part is enough. Okay, we have this view here, and now this view will be, well, I want to include this in here, and the URL detail, and the same thing I want to have like here. When I find this, when I click on this, there should be like article and then the Slack of the article, like any Slack, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd. This thing when mentioned, it should be redirected, or it should be like this. First should be the article and then the Slack of that specific article. That's why I want to have the article and then this, well, here something like Slack will be Slack, and instead of home I have the detail. Instead of home, here again I want to have the detail, the name of this path, and the Slack is Slack. How cool is that? Okay, it is also done, and we will talk about something else here as well, but just now focus here, like I want to have this. Okay, in the corner you just see here that when I hover over a title, you see that the 3rd the Slack will be shown, the 4th the Slack will be shown. But when I click on any of them, it will not show the specific thing for us, because first it should have the article and then the slug. For example, I want to have this article and then the fourth. When I click, when I enter this, the detail of this article number 4 is here for us. Again, for example, if I want to have the article and then the third, when I press enter, it will have the detail of article 3. But it will be difficult for us, yeah. When I see here, when I hover this or I click here, it will not work. So we have two ways. One is hard coded ways. For example, here I say that just pause like this. Okay, now see, yes, number 4. When I click on number 4, article 4, it will work. But it is hard coded, because sometimes when you change something, you have to change or you have to delete this from every file, because if you have hundreds of files, you have to delete from hundreds of files or thousands of files. But this is not a very proficient way, or this is not a very good way. So it is called hard coded. So the best thing we can do here, and we can, like, we have everything easy for us, will be like this. For example, we have here double quote. Specifically, you have to have single quote and URL. And one thing I mentioned here, that we have this app name, and as I said that I will talk about this later when we reach on this part. And now we have reached here, the app name. We have blog here. We take the blog here, blog, and we have colon. Again, we see the name of this path. We just take the name of this path, detail, we just paste it here, and now there will be article.slug. So whatever slug it takes, it is very, very simple, and it is very proficient way as well, because whenever we change, we do not need to change from anywhere. Like, let's see it works or not. Well, it works fine. Again, it works fine. Now, for example, if I change the name of this article, for example, post, again it works. Okay, I refresh, see, it works. It works. In previous example, as I said, this is a hard coded. Again, I want to keep it in article. In previous example, if you had here the article, it will be hard coded. Whenever you change this part, you had to change everything. That's why it's very great way we should have this. So this is the detail part. In the next video, we will talk about something very important here. And in this video, so whatever I have taught up until now, these are all like the functional view or function based view. So we will talk about the class based views as well, because in Python I've taught the classes as well. So it is easy, but sometimes it will be very difficult, and it will be very confusing as well. So the class based view will be very easy and simple. And for example, if I have here thousands of lines, so in class based I can do that in 10 lines or 20 lines. So that's why I'll talk about those things as well. For now, I think it's enough. In the next video, we will talk about some important topic as well.